Yeah, I just took an intermission. Anyway, I'm gonna just go on. Now, they're putting sodomy pornography on the internet. Period. I met a lady who had a webcam set up in her home for the internet and would sodomize herself in the nude for the guys out there to watch. She had been a church secretary. Well, a lot of the church. I always also read something about these church, so-called church girls, and most of the porno industry women, females, not women, females, they their history goes back to the churches. So rah rah rah. I wonder why. Anyway, the woman Eileen Freeland, I think her name was, asked this question: Is sodomy the connecting link between Satanism, Freemasonry, and other groups, including Jesuits? He said, "You remember Aleister Crowley? He was a 33-degree Mason. I talked to Bill Schnoebelen one time and asked him, where did the Masons get the sodomy? And he said, it came by Aleister Crowley from Black Magic Hinduism." So every brother that be doing Rasta, be doing practically homosexual things by doing Rasta stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, well, that isn't the only place it came from. So it isn't the only place it came from. So don't be scared. You're not the only copycat. The interviewer. Have you run across more satanic stuff now? Question mark. It seems rife. Or has it always been around the same amount? Marion Knox answered. As far as American society concerns, it's increasing. Because well, 2 weeks ago, what the hell? Oh man, what the hell just happened? Yeah. Because a couple of weeks ago, I think a couple of months ago, they just made it a law, which is in California, that they could that they legalize homosexual marriages and stuff like that. As far as masonry and a certain element they call black masonry, it's been around all the time. It doesn't use the term Satanism quite as much because the Masons would be more Luciferians rather than Satanists. Interferer asks, what is the difference between Satan and Lucifer? Same person. But Caesar Boucher said Satan comes either. Well, actually, the Lord Yahweh Shai said it, but anyway, he's referring to Caesar Boucher. I think. But Jesus said Satan comes either as an angel of light or as a roaring lion, which he will do in the time of Jacob's trouble. Anyway, Satanism is the roaring lion principle. Luciferianism is the angel of light principle. Satanism is practically how you call it, something that's raw and really satanic, And Luciferian is your modern day politicians. They really come in suit and tie and ask you to sign on the dotted line. So basically, in masonry, the white and black checkered floor is the light and dark balancing factor. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what they're talking about, it's this. This is the white and black checkered floor. You have this in a lot of movies, and in a lot of cartoons, and in a lot of games, of course. I can give you an example. Well, it does give the game. This is the game. This is the woman from the game. This is the woman also. She bending over with her head in the pillow, and her butt cheeks up in the air. What? Shit. Well, you know what I'm talking about. It's the light and dark balancing factor. In the Bible, sodomy is translated as uncleanness. In Job 36:13 and 14, it says that hypocrites in heart die young and live among the unclean. If you take what's in the margin of the King James, or New King James, which is not good, and reread the verse, it would read like this: the hypocrites in heart, their soul die, and they live amongst the sodomites. Sodomy kills the soul, destroys the soul. Romans 1 describes the route to having a reprobate mind. It's a progression. Wherefore the Most High also gave them up to. This is, I think, the Book of Romans. I know this is Book of Romans. Yeah. Gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, innovators, and evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who, knowing the judgments of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do it. Romans chapter 1 verse 24 and 28 and until 32, King James Version. So all kinds of things happen when they go into perversion. People talk about aliens. This is the question. People talk about aliens. What's their relation with demons? I had a guy working for me whose brother-in-law worked at Area 51. Top secret. Can't talk. This guy who worked for me asked his brother-in-law, what about the alien thing? He said the stealth bomber is our most advanced technology that the American public is aware of, and it was developed 30 years ago. What do you think they have now? I think the alien thing is a cover scheme made up by these Area 51 people. The second thing I notice is that most of the people who believed in aliens say that their first abduction occurred around 3 years of age. There are so many similarities to occult rituals abuse, that whenever you put together sodomy and ritual abuse, the demons are going to be layered in. They give you a new mindset at 3 years of age, the fantasy world. This is what the whole alien thing is about. There's no such thing as aliens from another planet. They're demons. Well, they're actually just a bunch of demons. They're kind of right. But the real so-called aliens are actually angels. But you have demons also portraying as so-called aliens, and just fooling these people, these Edomites, which are evil angels. In the book of Psalms, chapter 78, you can verse 49, I think. The Lord sends evil angels. He sent one on Samuel. In the book of Samuel, on King Saul. Anyway. The interviewer: how do you picture where demons live? The demon is a figment of your mind. It lives in your mind. She says, is its origin your mind as well? Question mark. You take a 3-year-old child, untouched. Somebody sodomized the child. The guy name is Joe. When they come up with Israelite names, Job, Joseph. The word Joe is Joseph. Job. Or Joseph, whatever. Anyway. Now, all of a sudden, the child has a sodomy demon called Joseph riding with it. That made me think about a demon called Bakuru riding on the shoulders of a demon called Yorka. This is a Suriname thing. Only if you was from Suriname you would understand this. Literally what it's saying. But anyway, that thing was conceived or reproduced from the Joseph demon that the man had who sodomized the child. Where it came from? Question mark. It was birthed in the child's mind by the act. It didn't have to come from anywhere. It just was birthed. Reproduced right there. The child was given a copy. Joe is like a copy machine that can reproduce another copy. I don't feel all demons are that way, but that kind are. They don't live in the bloodstream. They don't live in the genes. They live in the mind. Is sodomy worse than incest? A lot of incest that occurred is sodomy. I've heard that in Mexico, Mexicans' fathers sodomize their daughters to be able to control them and bond them to the family. But they don't give them vaginal sex so they can preserve them as virgins for their husbands. Ooh, that's an Israelite thing. Virgins for your husband. Only the virgins for your husband is an Israelite thing. What a crop of bull. What a crop of bull. I'm convinced that Muslim hatred for non-Muslim comes from sodomy. Their rage has to come from sodomy.